You know, Washington has failed to pass any form of immigration reform. And I believe that there are a lot of steps that have to be taken in order to make sure that we welcome people here legally, but discourage people who come here illegally. There have been many proposals to do so. But I think that Washington has been very slow to act because they are afraid of how either it will affect their political future. Immigration is one of the biggest issues facing America today. Illegal immigration. Legal immigration is great; it benefits us, but legal immigration does all that. Illegal immigration, it costs a lot of money. It's not good for our economy or our security. And I think something has to change. Now, I believe the first thing that has to be done is the borders must be secured. I think that's something most people, except for maybe those on the very far left, could agree with me on. Now, with the next idea that I'm going to, this is something that I firmly believe. I, I know that a lot of Ron Paul supporters and others on the far left are going to criticize me for my support of what I'm about to say, but I think that it's necessary to have a national tamper-proof ID card because I think that you have to make sure that you know who's in and out of the country and who's who with identity theft and who's here legally and illegally. And I'm not saying that we should have our policemen going around and stopping people because they may look different or speak differently. But like the Arizona law, I would, if somebody's involved in a crime that they commit or gets a speeding ticket, they should have to show that they are here legally or a U.S. citizen born here or illegally. There's nothing unreasonable about that. And I believe that racial profiling is something of the past. I think it was a failed system. I think it's immoral. And I think that I believe in acceptance and all that stuff. But this is not an issue of discrimination. It's an issue of national security. We have to know who's in this country legally and illegally and who's collecting benefits, whether they're legal or not. So I think that it's important that we pass a national ID card. And I know that many have reservations about having such a bill. But I think that it is the best way to make sure that we know who's here and who isn't. We're spending $90 billion each year to give benefits to illegals. It's got to stop, and it's going to cost us. That means we could save if we got rid of all that spending over the next decade, we could save $900 billion, and that is a substantial amount of money to go into reducing our national deficit. This is a issue of economics. It's an issue of the deficit. It's an issue of national security. Let's secure the borders, and let's have a national ID card.